You want to hear something that makes sense?
Yeah.
He's got to go. He's
Go
got to
home.
go. He's done. I mean,
Pack it
there's,
up.
in my mind, there's no way that the damage has already been done between the two parties involved, Kawasaki and Jorge,
I'd say.
that I just don't think, like, this is his strength right now. Like, how is it going to get better in SMX or Supercross?
JB and AC, the energy was awesome. Those two are just like really finding their groove.
4 straight overall wins.
$100,000. Adam Cianciarulla. Checkered flag and Justin Brayton.
Has won 2019 Pro Motocross Championship.
He's gonna do it to become the oldest winner in the history of Supercross.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the AC and JB Show, Unadilla edition. We've seen some okay track conditions over the weekend. We've seen a championship be won by Jett Lawrence, his second 450 Pro Motocross Championship. We've seen a couple rookie debuts. We'll get into all that and much more. But my co-host, Adam Cianciarulla. What's up, AC?
What's up, JB? It's good to see you, man.
Good to see
The first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Unadilla right off the bat. I've always said this my whole career, and maybe I'm a bit soft, but the amount of toughness you have to sit behind the rider in front of you at a track like Unadilla, like that isn't even. It's not like you get back to the truck and you get a pat on the back for getting pelted with rocks the whole time, right? Like I don't know if any of our listeners ever played paintball. But it's basically like getting shot with a paintball gun the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
And so I always felt that I've always felt that that's something that's a bit overlooked. Like, yes, we're tough. We have injuries. We get back up. But, man, you gotta sit behind the guy in front of you and take a beating at Unadilla.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's certain tracks on the calendar that you just know you're going to leave there Saturday night, wake up Sunday morning sore as ever. Your chest is just completely worked. Even if you wear a chest protector, your shoulders, your arms, like it is bad. You've seen a lot of guys running handguards this weekend, and that's why. The rocks are not great. They have gotten better over the years, though. I will say.
Were you a handguard guy?
Yeah, I liked handguards.
Oh, I loved handguards, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't feel Eli Tomac ran handguards this weekend. I don't. To me, that guy is the epitome of what it means to be a tough motocross racer. I mean, you've seen that guy over the years, not really that great of a starter, always coming through the pack, always getting roosted. And he doesn't even try to get, like most guys try to get out of the roost a little bit. Eli's fine. Eli's totally fine with it. Just sits in there, no problem, takes it like a champ. But that's one of the things about pro motocross in general. I would say probably 5 or 6 of the tracks over the summer are pretty tough with roost. But I don't know about you, JB. You don't want to run a big underprotector because it's so hot out. So it's either like, you either got to be okay getting pelted, getting all bloodied up, or you got to go heavy on the underprotector. Then you're overheating, cramping. It's no good. But I did think, man, when I saw the start of the first 250 moto, I was like, wow, they put a lot of water on the track. And especially in the 250 class, man, there's nothing like the first few laps in the 250 class. No matter if you're at the front, mid-pack, the back, the intensity is something that you can only really know if you've been there and done it. And so when the intensity is that high and you're having to navigate that much water on the track, Justin, I'm surprised there wasn't that many crashes on the first lap of the 250 first moto.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's maybe my least favorite thing about racing pro nationals back in the day was the first couple laps after they had watered. You hadn't been on the track for a couple hours, since qualifying practice, and you have to ratchet up the intensity and have so much aggression. And like, I'll just be honest, like I just couldn't do it. First couple laps, I had to just like swallow my pride and get roosted and know that I was going to get a few of the guys later on. But it was Joe time that first moto, dude. It was unbelievable those first few laps. I mean, was he riding the same track? Was his track watered, or was just everybody else?
I don't know. I don't have no idea what I saw, but it was a complete and utter just beat down. 40 seconds. And I know Haiden, look, if they were tied in points, it would probably have been a different story. But you can't take, and just like Haiden said in the press conference on the podium, you can't take anything away from Joe. I mean, he simply was on another level. And every once in a while, JB, you see a guy like that, you see somebody kind of go to the next level. And that to me is like flow state. Like Joe, he was completely unconscious. He was blacked out there. He was Steph Curry making shots from half court, time and time again. It was, he put it together like nobody I've ever seen. And something about Joe, and we've talked about on here before, he loves tracks that are just destroyed like that. I mean, the track was technical. All the guys were saying it was even a bit dangerous, a bit sketchy in some areas, and that's Joe's wheelhouse. So, Joe's got that perfect combination of like calm intensity that translated really well on that track. But first, 450s, Jett Lawrence.
Hold on. Well, I am wearing my Honda hat today
to
represent a little bit.
I see that.
Total domination. But we got to cover a couple off the track stuff. I seen a post from the Adam Cianciarillo that the 9 is back. We're back, baby. Going to Australia. What's up?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this going to Australia. I think originally the 2 events that I'm signed up to do, I'm doing some broadcasting with you at one of the events. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to do a little bit of like exhibition type of riding. We're not entirely sure what that looks like yet. Maybe I go out there and free practice, do some whips, maybe attempt a knack, who knows?
Easy on that.
But I'm excited. I've never been to Australia. I think we're going to go over there. The events were supposed to be back to back, but now they've gotten pushed a little separate. One's on the 25th of October. And I think the other one is on the 16th of November. So I think my girlfriend and I think we're just going to go. We're going to fly over there and just stay for the month.
You got to
bring my golf clubs. Heard the coffee's great over there, but I'm excited. I will say I went to the Supercross track to get some footage for that the other day, and dude, I do need some work. And it gave me a whole new respect for you showing up to the Supercross tracks this year, doing your track preview, and just going 4th gear wide open through the whoops, dude. I'm out. I doubled through the whoops a few times, but that's about as much as I did.
I love it. I love to see the 9 back out there doing some riding. We're going to have a ton of fun. Yeah.
The 10 is going to be on the track. Yes?
Well, we'll see. Maybe that'll be next episode. We'll dig in that. This is all about you. This is all about the 9. And I love seeing it, though. We're gonna have a ton of fun. It's gonna be awesome. And,
Are we golfing? Are we golfing?
Oh, you got to golf. Yeah, you have to golf.
Got to. I'm excited. I think that the opportunity too with you and I to call a race, start to finish. We've done the live announcing, of course, at the Supercross races, but doing the broadcast is a bit of a different story. So I think I'm really looking forward to that, dude. Like you are my play-by-play guy for life. Life.
We're a team. It's a package deal, folks. It's a package deal.
100%.
Now it's going to be fun. And honestly, just you getting back riding, I love that. I think that's so cool. We are going to ride an SMX round as well. So
True.
To be continued there. We'll make some fun announcements, but I think it's great, man. It keeps you in shape. It keeps your mind like really focused, and to have a goal of just being able to ride a Supercross track. I love that you said that, because people do take for granted and think that we can just go out there and like, oh yeah, no problem, just go ride the track. Like even we've done it over 1 million laps probably, but it's still really difficult for us, and we have to like truly train for it and prepare for it.
And that's what I was talking to Jeremy McGrath was at the track at Glen Helen. Pro Circuit was kind enough to let me ride one of their Supercross tracks. And we were filming a Science to Supercross segment out there as well with Kawasaki for SMX. And I was talking to MC because MC's been a Kawasaki ambassador for years now. And he's always coming out to the team shoots in December at the Supercross track. And I swear, I think it was this past December. I'm telling you, MC, he got like a hip replacement, and just came out, outdoor suspension. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a big Supercross triple, dude. You can't see the landing, blind. There's a 353 out of the turn, and then big old triple. And MC at 50 years old or whatever he is, no problem. Just greases the downside. Didn't even have to follow anybody off of it, nothing. And so I'm like, now I already knew that MC was a bad dude. Like that guy's nasty. He's got it. But it gives me a whole new respect for him now to still, he rides a little bit, but it's not like he's out there grinding all the time. And just to go out there and bust out something like that, even me, say I do the team shoot next year, it's still going to take me longer to do the Supercross triple than MC with a new hip. So it is definitely a perishable skill, JB. And I honestly don't know how, and that's why genuinely it impresses me how much you still have it on a Supercross track. I'm not quite sure if the speed just left my body, or it was just time for me or what. But dude, you're sick with it. You're sick with it.
I think you still have it. But the most impressive thing about a guy like MC or RC used to do this as well. They would show up with like stock suspension or motocross suspension and still do the triple, still do the rhythm lanes. Like that to me, I mean, give me Supercross suspension and I'll jump any triple, because if you over jump it or case it, at least you have a little buffer with the suspension. The suspension is going to soak up a lot of it. Stock suspension or motocross suspension, nah, man, I've tried it. I'm out.
Well,
out on that. So that's impressive.
I am excited. So I've been maintaining my own motorcycle, of course, loading up, going to the track, doing my thing, feel great about it. Makes me feel like a real man, which is awesome.
We've got a ramp, we've got a gas can. We're putting our gas in ourselves.
We've got chain lube. We've got chain lube. Yep. We got a toolbox with tools in it now.
Are we just 3 fingers on the swing arm to the chain? Is that what we're doing to tighten it?
Oh, we haven't tightened the chain yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, the chain's fine. But I will say, so getting ready to go to Australia, not quite sure the type of riding I'm going to be doing yet completely, but I want to be somewhat prepared. I'm not going to go there, just fly there blind. Mm-hmm. So I plan on doing a little Supercross riding beforehand. And that's where my mechanic skills, where I'm like, I'm not sure I'm trying to go out there and hit a 3 onto a tabletop.
No.
With a loose chain.
No.
Or something.
That's my first thought.
I'm going to need my guy, Oscar. I mean, my old mechanic, Justin Shanty, he's NASCAR. Now he's over by you in Charlotte. I may have to fly him out here, see what we can do. I don't know when the NASCAR season ends. But yeah, those were my skills will be truly put to the test. Truly
That's
put
great.
to the test.
I love it. Yeah, it's going to be fun traveling down under. You're going to love it, man. Like, aside from the races, you and your girlfriend are absolutely going to love it. I've told you that time and time again. So you're making a good decision by staying there the whole month.
Well, and I really genuinely always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go there, but you know how it is. You know how it is when you're here, when you're doing, you're contracted to do all the 31 races here. Most of the time, the off season, I wasn't trying to get on a plane. Go to another country.
And it's far, for sure.
And the first time so it was off season 2014, Eric Pernard, our friend Eric Pernard, was kind enough to invite me to Geneva Supercross. And that ended with me in the hospital. It was just a big old ordeal. And so I never quite got the courage to be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to go back. Right. Yeah. And plus you were just cleaning up there. I knew I was no match for the 10 bike.
Yeah. Just don't even show up.
That's to be real. But let's get into this right here. And I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this list to you. Okay. And you can tell me who this is. 2021 250 motocross title. 2022 East Coast 250 Supercross title. 2022 250 MX Pro Motocross title. 23 250 West Supercross title. 2023 450 motocross title, perfect season. 23 SMX world champion. 2024 450 premier class supercross champion. 2024 super motocross world champion. And finally, 2025 motocross champion in the 450 class. Does that ring a bell? You know who that guy is?
Well, you said perfect season, and Stu's not racing. He's in the booth. RC's not racing. He's at the beach.
He's at the beach.
I mean, Jett, man. Kid's unbelievable.
Nuts. And
Yeah.
I think it's pretty crazy how fast we get used to somebody just being great.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Jett, like if you would have said, you know, in 2020 when he was making his Supercross debut at 16 years old in like 5 days, remember he had that race with Dylan Ferrandis at Anaheim too, going back and forth. Like if you would have said then, you would have read what I just read. You wouldn't have. I don't think you would have believed it. Like for this kid to come over here and do this, he's 22 years old. I mean, there's not a lot of people, period, that have that many. I mean, what is it? 8 championships? I think Ryan Villopoto had 9 total. And think about that. Think about how unbelievably good Ryan Villopoto was. And Jett Lawrence is 22 years old.
Yeah,
8 championships. I know there's some people out there that get tired of hearing about it, but I just think, man, the standard that he sets, it almost like you become numb to how good he is. But I think it's just important to point out that, dude, what we're witnessing right now is pretty unbelievable, genuinely.
Yeah, you know, speaking about Australia, I was there. AUS-X Open. Jett Lawrence comes over there, his first ever Supercross race. You know, I don't know if he's 15 then, maybe 16, on Geico Honda. And a lot of people before that race were like, hey, how do you think Jett is going to do? Because I believe I was teammates with Mitchell Oldenburg over there, who was racing the 250 class. I think Chris Blows was racing at the time. And I came back to American, was riding at the test track, and I'd seen Jett ride. And I told him, I said, look, he's really fast, but he's a little bit wild, and I don't think you guys will have to worry about him. Well, come to find out, he was really wild in the whoops. And what would happen was he would literally click 4th or 5th gear. And remember when Stu would make a mistake and just lift the front wheel and wheelie 4 out or wheelie 5 out? Jett would do the same. And he would 99% of the time pull it off. Well, he did that same thing in Australia, had some wild moments. I think he ended up winning 1 race, but I don't know if he got 3rd or 4th overall or something. And Oldenburg or Bloss won. And it was a crazy time because he was so young. And what I'm trying to say is then 2019, it doesn't seem like that long ago. It wasn't like we were saying, oh my gosh, everybody move over. Eli Tomac move over. Ken Roczen move over. Here comes Jett Lawrence. No one was really saying that. So the trajectory that he's been able to climb and claw his way into Supercross and battle guys like Ferrandis and then have the big crash, come back from that, still believe in himself, and become the guy and the champion he is today it's wild, man. It really, really is wild to think about how good he is. Because I think about the guys that we're comparing him to right now. I mentioned James and Ricky. Those guys, you could see it from the time they were on 50s or 60s, right? Like we knew. And I wasn't even hardly around them, but from what I've heard, you knew Ricky was on his way and Ricky was going to win. He went undefeated in 125 Supercross. Like you just knew Ricky was going to take over the sport. And James, the same thing. So we didn't really have that with Jett, and now doing what he's doing and the things, how he rides the 450 is just, I mean, it's jaw dropping. You hear James all the time on the broadcast talk about it. And that's James Stewart, one of the best to ever do it. And it's really special to be a fan and sit on the sidelines and watch this.
And I think another point, JB, we're kind of been in this era post RV, post Dungey, winning 4 Supercross titles in a row. Tomac's been the most consistently good guy, winning championships, winning races. Tomac's been unbelievable, but we kind of got into this era where we thought kind of the years of dominance, the years of guys like James and like RC and Dungey and RV, that's long gone.
Yeah.
Everybody knows too much about everybody's program. The bikes are too good. Like everything's just stepped up. The gaps are closer. It's not gonna happen. It's happening, dude.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's back. The level of dominance, barring injury, Jett's won he hasn't been beat. Like he hasn't been beat in a championship when he's healthy. So I think we're officially in the Jett era. Maybe I'm a couple years late to say that. But I think especially in this era where you have guys like Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac and Hunter and Justin Cooper, Jason Anderson, Cooper Webb, like for him to come in and do this, I don't know. I've run out of words for it. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to show somebody like, hey, this Jett Lawrence kid is unbelievable, and if you wanted to show someone just one clip, show him passing RJ Hampshire up that hill this weekend. Just show that.
RJ, oh, unbelievable! Leap from the bottom, then leaps over the top and leaps into the lead.
Goodness.
How amazing was that, AC? That was unreal, huh?
Yeah, it was. And that, I think when people ask me, like all the time, when I'm playing golf or something, and guys figure out what I do, and they're casual fans of the sport, and they're asking me about this guy, and they're like, what makes Jett so good? It's so hard to narrow it down to one thing. But if I had to say one thing, I would say it's like just how his mind works when he's on the track. He always has a plan. He always has a plan. And if anything deviates from that plan, if things happen, he crashes or makes mistakes, or, the bike's doing this there, it's like his decision making on the track, your heart rate's at 195, like the decisions that he makes on the track, 99% of the time, like they're the right decisions. And he makes the decisions. This is what I don't get either. This is from the time he was 17, 18. The decisions he makes the decisions with such conviction. Like he believes in what he's doing. He's not wishy-washy. He's not, oh, maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. Like he's got his plan, and the dude just believes in it and does it. And if, like I said, if stuff gets brought up kind of outside of his control, just the way that he can think on the fly, the way that he sees the track in general, that RJ pass, perfect example. Just the way that he sees everything, I think it's like Tiger Woods saw a golf course differently than everyone else. I really think it's that. Like I think the angles, we always talk about how he connects the track, the angle of his bike. He's got this feel, like you said about the whoops, him wheeling and picking the front end up. Like there's an aspect of it that can't be taught, I think. And you couple that with the fact that his program is so intentional. And you got Dazzy. We've talked about Dazzy a good bit over the past couple of years, but it starts there. He set the standard, and Jett's done the rest. Hunter's done a lot for him as well. But yeah, I just wanted to, I'm sure, we've all talked about Jett plenty this summer, Justin, but just wanted to give him his flowers on this one, because we shouldn't take this for granted, because it won't be around forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. The last thing that I'll say, and just from experience, I guess, being on the track with guys like Villopoto and James Stewart and Ryan Dungey and these types of guys, the one thing that makes Jett so great now that I can compare to those guys, and when I was on the track, was it seemed like, well, especially Supercross, and you'll hear this all the time, especially the preseason going into Supercross, oh, so-and-so is going so fast at the test track. Well, typically there's one line around the test track because you've ridden that line, I don't know, 100 hours, and so everywhere you've ridden that track 100 hours, so you know the exact line to take and which one's the fastest. And I felt like I could always go as fast as almost anyone if the track ended up being one line and I knew that one line, that's why I wasn't a great motocross rider, because you have to take different lines and pick and choose and still run the same lap time.
Yeah.
Now going back to Jett can run any line he wants in any corner and be as fast as anybody in the world. And that to me is the most impressive, because if you could just pick one line, okay, that's the fast line in that corner, that's the fast line in that corner. Well, he can do any line. And then actually Haiden, that's one thing that he does really
I
well
was
in the
going to say
250
that.
class. He can go anywhere on the track and still be as fast as anybody. That to me is a skill that you cannot teach. You have to really make decisions on the fly and just purely base your decision off of instincts, which is what you were alluding to with Jett. And that is unbelievable. And that's what the greats do. That's what Villopoto did. That's what James did. That's what Ricky did. And now that's what Jett is doing at the highest level that I've ever seen anyone on a motorcycle do.
And that's a great point, JB. And it goes back to, in order to do that, to improvise like that, you have to have this natural kind of feel, like for your, you have to have a natural feel for the track, for your bike with, and you got to have the technique in order to compensate for whatever the condition is in the line that you're picking. Another thing, kind of different topic here. Another thing that I think is kind of unique about Jett. I don't know if you caught the press conference after Unadilla this weekend. And I know there's been, plenty of champions in the past that have been, good dudes and not necessarily crazy mean to their competition, crazy cutthroat. But Jett is so, like, you see how friendly he is with like Eli, all the other racers, even
us showing the respect to Eli and other riders, that this kind of creates better racing, I feel like, because otherwise if you create enemies, it's just like not as fun. You don't like talking to that person, it's awkward.
Having raced him, been down in the tunnel with him, he's like a pretty popular dude amongst the racers, which normally when somebody has kind of separated themselves from the pack like that, like a RV or Tomac at times, like they kind of end up in this isolated type of situation where nobody really talks to him that much. I just think the way that Jett has gone about how he interacts with his competition too is different. Like he's super friendly. He doesn't feel the need to, I don't know, try to be like intimidate, try to be something he's not. Like he'll go out there and stomp your throat on the track, but off the track, like pretty happy-go-lucky, jokey dude, which I think for like a dominant, super dominant athlete to be that way off the bike is a bit unique. Would you say? Because I feel like, back in the Ricky and James and Chad days, I mean, people remember Jacksonville 09. I mean, we're grabbing helmets and, some of that stuff still happens now. Grabbing helmets, him and Jason Anderson a couple years ago. Some of that stuff will happen here and there, but I feel like back in the day, and maybe this is just my perception, it was just a little bit more like you didn't really get that friendly. And you see this weekend him interacting with Eli, at the press conference, and we saw it after San Diego Supercross this year, them walking in the tunnel, and just like this mutual respect. I think it's cool that Jett's been able to win as much as he has and still be kind of aware enough to stay himself, to stay grounded and to be that way. I think it's setting a good standard for the guys coming up right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think most previous champions really in any sport, and I was taught when I was young, like you have to want to absolutely crush your competition. You're not going to be friends with your competition. You want to be able to crush them each and every Saturday. And I think a lot of champions acted like that, right? And
Definitely.
They had to get their self in that headspace of, no, I'm going to crush you. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to give you bad looks. I'm going to do everything in my power to get under your skin, and I'm going to crush you on the track. It's not that way anymore.
No,
it's just not. And Jett's kind of leading that pack. I mean, I would say, I think about Dungey a lot, obviously very respectful, but pretty much to himself and wasn't like buddies with Villopoto. They weren't going to dinner together when they were battling. So, yeah, it's an interesting time. He's so likable off the track, and then yeah, when he puts his helmet on, it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's cool for a guy like Eli. You know, there was a little tension there. I think there was some miscommunication. Um, I guess was it last or the year, 2 years ago now?
Yeah,
Maybe last year, Arlington, when some stuff got
yeah.
said between the
That
two
wasn't
parties.
beast
But
mode or something like that.
yeah,
Got
and
taken
I
out of
think
context.
I don't think he meant it the way it came out,
No,
and that's just being young. So, yeah, it's really, really cool to see how respectful Jett is. And then let's talk about Hunter because, like, how cool is that? Imagine, like, I don't have a brother that I like grew up racing with or anything, but I just can't imagine doing it with your brother and you're battling, and then how aggressive Hunter was that second moto. I love to see it because he's like, look, even though we're brothers, I don't want you to clinch this championship today. I want you to win it next weekend, but not today. So that's fun to see, and just how impressive it must be behind the scenes for Dazzy and the family to hold everything together, and then Honda and Lars and everyone there, Brandon Wilson, holding that together to where they truly are. They make each other better. And that's where we always go with, oh, should Hunter be on a team by himself? He's an A-level rider, which we talked about last week. He is, but it's still the most benefit for him and Hunter, or him and Jett, sorry, to be on the same team, because Hunter's not going to be as good without Jett. And I truly believe Jett will not be as good without
absolutely.
Hunter on the same team.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more there. It's funny. I was on YouTube the other day, which typically I'm really not much of a technology guy, not much of a YouTube guy. But I was on YouTube watching some old races the other day, and I don't even know what the series was called, because YouTube just goes from one video to the next. But it was Troy Adamitis did a kind of behind the scenes series going into Supercross 2025. And I don't know what they called that, but Troy Adamitis, if you guys aren't familiar, did all the great outdoors back in the day. I mean, this guy is just a complete
He's awesome.
legend in the industry. Like his storytelling, you would know his voice if you heard it too. Like the way he narrates the series, so good, gives me chills sometimes. But one of the things that was following Jett, Hunter, them leading into Anaheim. One of the things that Dazzy said, it was like Hunter was telling him, like, I don't care if I win any championships, like but if I'm not winning the championships, it better be you, Jett. And Dazzy said, what do you say? Like, Hunter knows that Jett is just a bit of a freak. And in watching this, I haven't been on YouTube. I don't go on YouTube a lot, but watching this kind of behind the scenes of their dynamic, top to bottom, being a dad and working for your kid in dirt bike racing is a very volatile thing. And we hear about it all the time. There's guys, less known guys, getting blowouts with, like, there's a lot of emotion involved. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of sacrifice, and it's a tough dynamic to get right. It's tough. I mean, especially, I'm not a father, you are, but I can just imagine how emotionally invested you are in your son, and how difficult that must be to remain composed and not let that cloud your decision making. But I thought with both of them, with Jett and Hunter, Dazzy, like I saw the behind the scenes stuff, even with the track, their mindset. Remember they had a bad Anaheim 1, they got back to the truck, and everybody was like super calm. Jett was a little pissed off, whatever, but Dazzy is like, dude, not sweating it at all. And like, just to have somebody like that kind of leading the ship, it kind of reminded me, I'm sure not a lot of our fans follow cycling, but back in the mid 2010s, like Team Sky, back in the day, their big thing used to be marginal gains. Like every little thing you can do, and that will create a gap, hopefully, when we get to the finish line. And that's what it reminded me of. Like Jett and Hunter, Jett, maybe the best talent we've ever seen. Hunter, really good too. But it's all the little things, dude. Like they do all the little things the right way. And there's no real gaps in their program. they're not leaving anything on the table. Like it really is just, I kind of watched that, and it made me kind of replay my own career in my head, and like some of the things I could have done better, and some of the things, and it's just kind of inspiring to see somebody have it completely together. It makes sense why they're so good. But yeah, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine going out there with my brother, man. And I thought the second moto, I thought Hunter put up a bit of a fight.
For sure.
Like Jett was joking around at the press conference talking about he thought Hunter was going to run it in and hit him a couple times. Like they got close.
Yeah.
But dude, it's amazing how Hunter holds his composure always too. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad, dude. I'd be strangling my brother in his sleep.
I think he just knows and has confidence in Jett would not be Jett without him. Like,
totally.
and I think that's just what it is. Like I think he feels like very proud as a brother that, hey, I helped my brother get to this level. And then another quick story on Dazzy. I can't remember where it was. I've been trying to think since you started talking about him. It's been in the last couple of years. We had I don't think it was this year. I think it was last year. We had a race day live booth. You know, sometimes they'll be like next to a suite, or we can see guys through the window or something. I remember Johnny O and Dazzy were standing really close where I could see them during the night show as we're calling the race. And Hunter had a big crash. He crashed out of the race. And I looked over thinking Dazzy was going to be like freaking out or, oh my goodness, or like what happened? He was as calm as could be, like nothing even happened. And they sat there, watched the rest of the race, and walked up. Like it was wild. And I tried to put myself in that position watching my own son out there. And that would be the right thing to do, what he did, because what are you going to do from up there? You can't do anything. It's not the first time that's happened. It's probably not going to be the last time that's going to happen. And I'm sure he went back to the truck, calm as ever. Okay, what's wrong? Are you injured? Are you not? If you're not, okay, he's just so matter of fact and doesn't overdo anything, doesn't put stress in places that doesn't belong, because we've also watched the other parents when their kids just out there racing. He's not even crashing and they're moving all over the place. He's got stuffed or making a pass. Like they're dancing up there in the stands. And Dazzy was not just so calm. Johnny O was super calm. And I think that reflects the type of kids that Hunter and Jett are, and it reflects the type of riding they do. And it all the way reflects the type of people that they are without their helmets on. And it's really, really cool to see, because like you said, it's really hard to come by. And we've had a lot of the other examples. A lot.
That's what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. And this is the last point. We'll move on after this. But how many times have we seen dads and the team just not getting along at all, dude? Big drama, screaming matches, like the whole 9 yards. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of instances where the dad has one idea of the way to do things, the team has another, and then the dad's in the rider's ear about his way, the team's in the rider's ear about their way, and it's just a mess, dude. It's a mess. And that's one of the things in the series that I watched that Dazzy said is like, why would you isolate yourself from these group of people that have the same goal as you?
Yeah.
And it's pretty cut and dry like that. Those are the facts. But being a father, like I said, there's just so much emotion involved, and it's got to be tough to relinquish some type of control. But yeah, they pretty much got it all figured out.
Well, actually, this would be to our next guy. You know who else has had it figured out that might, and he's got a lot of praise, but maybe we don't talk about him enough, is John Tomac.
Yep.
Eli's dad. John's got it figured out as well. Talk about calm, cool, collected. I've watched him in the stands as well, and he's the same way. So, I think we did talk about John a lot early in Eli's career. I think we still need to continue to talk about him more, because he's still there. Eli still wants him there. He's a huge asset to that program, and obviously a great athlete himself. But it's interesting right now that the three guys on the podium have their father involved in a really positive, healthy way.
Absolutely. And I think that there's times where, when you have your dad involved in your program too, there's nothing like having family. Like you could pay somebody, pay a trainer. They're never going to care as much as blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having somebody like that you trust, that you trust, as long as the mutual respect is there, like you said, John Tomac's done a masterful job with Eli's career. Although I will say, him and Cowie definitely got into it sometimes. But
Did
I'm
they?
sure Dazzy,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. I think there's a healthy amount of conflict too.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And when you have the pedigree of someone like a John Tomac, like, dude, probably wouldn't argue with the dude either.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eli got third. Pretty ran hand guards. Thought that was sweet. Ate a bunch of roost. Rode well. I want to talk about our guy Ken Roczen, dude. Off the couch, fifth in the first moto, and I was on my way to the golf course, so I didn't catch like the last 10 minutes of the second 450 moto. And I thought he went like 5.5. I even texted him. I was like, dude, good job. That was awesome. But yeah, we had some cramping, some issues there in the second moto. But dude, wouldn't it be nice to just come off the couch, a track like that, just go out there and get a nice, easy fifth place?
It's crazy, isn't it? I was even thinking, Preste, did you see all those whips that he was
Oh
throwing off
yeah.
the tabletop? And
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
like, he makes all of us look so dumb.
I know.
So dumb that he can just come off the couch and do that. It's special. He's special, man. And to come
What?
get top 5 and battle like he's been there all year long. And I know, and you know as well, we're both really close to him. He hasn't been riding much. He took a lot of time off.
No.
He has not been riding a lot.
He's definitely put more time in on the beach
Yes.
than the track.
Yes.
Absolutely. But Ken, and being pretty close to Ken, both of us, we know it's all like, if Ken is in a good place mentally,
Mm-hmm.
dude, he could do anything. Like, it wouldn't surprise me it wouldn't surprise any of us if he came out and won Anaheim 1 when everybody's talking about Jett and Chase. He's just that guy on a dirt bike. And man, there's not many things I wish for more than if 2017 had gone differently for Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't imagine. He's had an unbelievable, legendary career. And I really think, in a way, coming back from what he came back from has like added to his legend. It's made him who he is. So there, I don't play that game too much, but just when you think about like how good he still is, and you almost forget that he had to go through that it was like he almost didn't have an arm. And dude, just the fact that he's been able to be consistently as good as he is for as long as he has post that crash, to me, I think he gets a fair amount of praise now. The fans love him. But dude, just a pretty respectable effort to me right off the couch, dude. Fifth place. We just need a couple more electrolytes in our system. We don't cramp. We don't cramp, and we're fine. We're 5.5, 5.6. No problem.
Oh yeah, no problem. Maybe a couple more days on the bike would help. But yeah, Kenny doing Kenny things. Hey, what are you talking about 2017? The first thing my mind went to when you were talking about with that was, I don't think he's still around if he stays healthy, because I think he wins so much.
Yeah.
That he's out. He's probably RC or RV style. So in a way, and even for Ken's life, knowing him personally, and look, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. Maybe that's why we've kept him around longer. He's got to stay in the sport a lot longer because he's made enough money. He could be out years ago and be okay for the rest of his life. So he wouldn't be around. He wouldn't have the same perspective, I think, on life. But what do you think? Do you think he goes on a roll, just wins 2 or 3 or 4 Supercross championships, motocross championships? Because I believe that. I think he does. Yeah.
I think I see no reason why in that 2017, 18, 19 years, he would have definitely been the favorite for the Supercross title. Tomac hadn't got over the hump in Supercross. I think outdoors, up against Tomac kind of in his prime, I think that would have been some of the best racing we've ever seen. And I definitely think Kenny would have got a couple more outdoors. It would have been a little closer, I think, in outdoors.
Dude, but 16 outdoors, Kenny was like,
dude.
And would he have been better on the Honda in 17 in motocross? That's one thing. Actually, I've never thought about that. What would 2017 Kenny look like on a Honda 450?
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy too about 2016? I was just grinding it out, 5 to 10 guy, 250 class. And this guy already had signed his Honda deal. And I feel like guys do this all the time. they're unhappy with the motorcycle, the team, and they sign a contract like a year and a half before they can actually ride the motorcycle. Then
He
they end up
literally
getting the
did.
bike.
Sorry to interrupt, but he literally signed it like a year,
Yeah,
like
and then they
before
end up
16 even started. Yeah,
they end up getting everything sorted out.
yeah.
And Kenny, dude, I remember that summer. I couldn't wait to get to the shop to hear what he had to say, because he would go 1-1 by 30 seconds on the weekend and then come back and be like, I can't even ride this thing, man. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? I'm back there in 8th place on the 250, just dying. And he's dude, it's he is a funny guy. I'm glad we have a chance to know him a little more personally, because that dude is something else, man.
And his
He's a
fitness
specimen.
level in 16, like, just, I mean,
Everything.
he could be super unfit, not train for months on end, and still take off his shirt and just absolutely ripped. But
Hey.
2016 fitness, like, just unbelievable, off the charts. Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to be selfish here, or I don't want to talk about me too much, but I will say, I was getting in the shower yesterday, and I did look in the mirror, and I was like, dude, I haven't done. I mean, my diet's terrible. You know this. It's better. It's like better. Like, we've been cooking a little bit more. I've been better. I've been going to the gym a little bit, but really, I haven't done anything. And I'm like, dude, you know what? I'm like happy with this. I figured when I retired that I figured the diet would go off the deep end, that, I'd be having some fun. I figured I'd get the dad bod rolling like pretty soon. And I'm pretty OCD. So I knew that once the dad bod started coming in, then I would take training more seriously. That's why I still have a road bike and a mountain bike in my garage, just in case. But yeah, dude, it just hasn't come yet. So why would I train?
No.
Like, why would I do more?
It came. It did. Cole,
did it?
Can we put up a photo of Salt Lake City, his last Supercross race of his career? It just came a little early. It came their last season of racing, and then we retired, and then we lost some weight. So it's already been there, but we're lost it. We're good now. We're good.
How did I lose 25 pounds post racing, dude? That's crazy.
Oh, that's great.
I can't believe none of you guys told me. It's just rude, man. It's rude. I really don't. I don't want to bring this up. I don't. But I feel like I have to. I feel like I'm obligated. Prado, dude.
Oh boy.
Come on, man. 1st to 15th?
Yep.
Like
15-12 on the day.
Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me, Justin.
I'll tell you what makes sense. You want to hear something that makes sense?
Yeah.
He's got to go. He's got to go. He's done. I mean, in my mind, there's no way that the damage has already been done between the two parties involved, Kawasaki and Jorge.
I'd say
that I just don't think, like, this is his strength right now. Like, how is it going to get better in SMX or Supercross? How would it possibly get better in the discipline that he's not as experienced in? In my opinion, it won't. So I just think both parties, they're going to have to sit down, and there's rumors of him going to KTM.
Yep, bonus only.
In my opinion, that's the best scenario. And if Jorge's going to take a big pay cut as a rider, I think it's worth it, because then he can himself can look in the mirror and say he's explored every option he can to achieve his goals. But this right now, this is not working. This is something's got to happen here. I don't know if you put Marchbanks on the bike. I don't know if you bring Anderson back next year. I don't know if you call this Cianciarillo kid who's going to ride a little bit in Australia. If he shows some promise this fall, maybe you hire him. I don't know, but something's got to happen to where they need to part ways.
Yeah, dude, it's a dumpster fire.
Do you agree?
It's a dumpster fire. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree, and I think this is what you and I have stood by all summer, that if Jorge goes out there and tries his hardest, there isn't one race he finishes outside the top 10.
Yeah,
he's too good of a rider.
Yeah,
he's too good of a rider, and for whatever reasons, we don't know the nuances behind the scenes, his interactions, but we can only go on what we see. And Yeah, dude, it's just. But my thing is like, okay, so the bike's holding you back from being the best that you can.
Mhm.
You kind of got to just wear that one. You kind of got to just wear that one a little bit. Like, you made the decision to come over here and race for this team. You knew what you were getting yourself into. You, as a rider, have a lot to say about what direction the bike goes in. Like, as a test rider, as a rider, it's your job. It's your job to set the motorcycle up in a way that, of course, the team, it's the team's job too, but it's a
Mhm.
collaborative effort. My thing is, like, even if he was a 5 to 10 guy, but he was going out there and trying as hard as he can, and he, say he was 6th in points right now. I don't know what he is, but the narrative around him, even if he didn't trash the team, like, other people would say that for him. People would be
Yeah.
like,
It would
the
be
bike,
obvious.
like, it would be obvious, and his value would still be his value.
Mhm.
But my thing is, with the way that he's handled the interviews and everything, and the way that he visibly gives up on the track, his value, he's like tanking his own value. Because what team wants to deal with somebody that's going to just completely throw the bike, the team, everything under the bus when it's not going well?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with that.
No.
And so I really, like, I'm not trashing anything other than the fact that he's not doing his best. He's not doing his
Yeah.
best. He gives up. So he's just got to not give up. I mean, even Ironman was fine.
Yeah, it was solid.
That was
It was
good.
a good day.
Tried hard the whole time. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, that's like, yeah, that's just something. I don't know. It's like a big storyline. So I feel like we had to bring it up. We don't have to spend too much time here. But again, I would love to see it. I would love to see it work out. I would love to see it work out. I think that, I believe in him as a rider.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
And whatever's going on, this is a big challenge in his life. I mean, he took this on. Credit to him.
Mhm.
We're still rooting for him. But yeah,
Yeah, I just think, and the reason I say it needs to end is it obviously isn't working, and no one wants that. Kawasaki doesn't want that. Jorge doesn't want
no.
that. So I believe it's in both of their best interest to just shake hands. And if he does have an opportunity with KTM,
Yeah.
that's where he's had these feelings
Mhm.
before, was on that motorcycle. That's where he's won these world championships. Obviously it was a gas, but it's the same motorcycle as Chase Sexton's riding right now and Aaron Plessinger. So I would love that as a fan of the sport. I would love to see whatever motorcycle it is under Jorge that he has the most confidence in, and that he can be his best
Yeah.
self. I'd
Me
love
too.
to see that.
Me
That'd
too.
be so great for the series and for the MXGP series to see what he can do. Because look, let's be honest. Valentin Guillaume got 10th. He went 11-10 this weekend. He'd never even seen Jorge Prado in a race in Europe.
No.
I mean, he didn't even see him. So,
No.
and I think he would even admit that. So now for Prado to be getting passed by him, the only thing that is just, I think Prado, like the first moto hole shots, he starts getting passed by these guys. He can't run that pace that he thinks he should be able to run. And then he just gives up. Like, man,
Yeah.
all right, this isn't me. And the one time they did show him on TV, I think he was pulling a tear off, looking behind, just looked like he was out for a Saturday joyride. And yeah, if he tries hard the whole time, he still probably goes 6-7 or 5-6, or like he still is up there. But yeah, not trying towards the end of these motos is not a good look.
I think it's self-preservation tactic in a way too, because if he makes it visible that he's not trying, then in his own mind, maybe in the riders that are passing him's mind, like, they're not actually passing the real Jorge.
Yeah.
So I think it's a way of kind of coping with it all. I want to propose something to you, JB, in terms of what Cowie does here moving forward.
Love it. Let's hear it.
I think you're right. I think Prado, I think this isn't working. I think he's got to bounce. He's got to go somewhere else. I think you bring Anderson back.
Yeah.
I think you bring Anderson back. Supercross only. Anderson is very, very talented on a motorcycle. And man, I've never seen, like, in the off season, sometimes at the practice track, Like, he's great at the races. We forget how many podiums he had, like, to start the year in Supercross
Yeah,
too.
he was good at the
But
beginning.
dude,
Yeah.
that guy is unbelievable on a motorcycle. He really is. I mean, he won 7 races in 2022. That's not that long ago.
Yeah.
I think Jason is at that point in his career where he's got to be 32, 33, starting to get up there a little bit. I think for him, it's like a length of time issue. I think that if he is able to kind of like just focus on the 17 rounds and know that he just has to bring all of his intensity, all of his work into that amount of time, I think he's going to be a lot more consistent. I don't see you having a better number 2 guy.
Yeah.
Like if Chase is on Cowie, Chase is, the hope is that he's going to be winning. He's going to be on the podium. There's no reason why. Like, I could see Jason, if he came back next year and he was like super motivated and healthy, I could see him winning a race, and I could see him being on the podium a lot. I don't think you're getting a better number 2 guy than that for Supercross only. And then Pro Motocross comes around, and you get the guy that's passed more guys than anybody in the history of two-wheel racing, period, and Garrett Marchbanks. And you put Garrett Marchbanks on a 450 for outdoors. What do you think?
I love it. And this is literally my favorite thing, is putting the pieces of the puzzle together. It's why I love helping riders now, and that's why I will eventually go, obviously I love the broadcasting thing, but I love the management side of the sport, of like putting these pieces together, and okay, if he goes here, then he could go there. And then even as a rider, that was my favorite thing, putting my deals together. My fly deal, how does it work in Australia and Europe and America, and put all this together. So I love this. This gets me really excited to talk about. I think the same thing. I think you bring Anderson back, Supercross only, like you said, his age. He's got a kid now. He's obviously going through some stuff personally, or whatever he was going through. If you can just say, hey, focus from November to May, take the summer off, maybe you come back for SMX, maybe you don't, not sure exactly. So. But then I love the fact, I wasn't sure about the Garrett thing. I think that makes some sense, but I also think it makes some sense to put Levi Kitchen on the bike. Yeah. Because I do believe in 2027, I think you put Kitchen on that bike full-time, 2-year deal. Wow. And maybe it's a little incentive-based. Okay. Maybe if he wins a Supercross title, hey, you get the outdoor seat. And then, or maybe even make it like Garrett and Levi. Hey guys, 450 seats going to be available during the summer.
You guys fist fight. You guys fist fight for it.
I think G's got him in that.
Yeah, probably.
I think Garrett's got him in that. But maybe you leave it open a little bit to motivate those two in Supercross, whichever one does better. But I think a full-time ride, I think you give it to Levi Kitchen in 2027. And I even thought there was a little thought, about 2% of me, that said put Levi on it now. Put him on it, not today, but like for 2026 Supercross. I think it's a little early, so that's why I like your Anderson thing. Bring Anderson back. He knows the bike. He'll be a good teammate to chase. I think it's a good move.
My thing is, I think it's, if you can, I think it's important to prove that you can be a consistent winner before you move up to the premier class. I think all the guys that have gone to the next level and really succeeded, become kind of a number 1 guy, have all proved that they can win, like consistently. And that's the only thing with Levi. I'm not sure. He was great in outdoors last year. I think there's no doubt, like, he's kind of reminds me of like a Wyndham type. Like, he's very naturally gifted, lankier, does a lot of cool things on a bike. I think it lends itself to Supercross a little bit more, his riding style. I'm not sure if he's sick or if he's hurt, or just sometimes you just get in a slump and you lose the confidence, and it's just hard to get back up to the top. But obviously Levi's Levi. I don't think that the ability to do it has gone anywhere. Like, if he came out at Charlotte SMX and won, we wouldn't be like, that's the craziest thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
But I think you give Levi one more year in the 250 class. I think even if Joe is on the same coast as him next year, I think Levi could Levi could win. Like Levi is capable of being the best guy on the track pretty much
Mhm.
at any given time.
Yeah.
So I
He's just
like
so
that.
start dependent, right? That's why I think for motocross, he's a little bit bigger. Same thing with Garrett, struggling with starts, trying to get out front. And it just seems like, and he definitely was this way at Star Yamaha. If he would hole shot, he would win. If he would start 10th, he would get 8th.
So
And
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if he's going through that again, but his starts aren't as good. And then when you're picking between him and Garrett, obviously Garrett's riding better at the moment, but I think the ceiling for Levi Kitchen is so high on a 450, so high. And
So high.
if anyone listening or watching to this wants to doubt me, go watch Seattle Supercross a year ago.
Just a beat down.
That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Beat down. Yeah, I think you're going to be good in that management position, JB, but I need you to give me like a decade. I need you to give me a decade in the booth. All right.
I love it, man. I think it's so fun. And
You know-
then, yeah, I love that side of the sport. Every sport, I love it. But yeah,
I want to. I don't know quite exactly what I want to do, but I do want to be like, I want to help. I want to help riders somehow. I don't want to be a trainer. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be writing this. It's pretty. I mean, I think I've trained with a lot of good people, and you're around enough. You have a long career. You know what you need to do to be fit. Most of the guys do. They just need somebody kind of on their butt a little bit.
Mhm.
But I would love to help. I would love to like mentor or like kind of like life coach type of situation because I'm too aware for my own good. JB, you know this. It's
Yeah.
like just everything. I see everything all at once, and I hate it
Mhm.
sometimes. But I think that could be beneficial to someone somewhere. So I could see
Yeah.
myself doing that. I don't know if I'm be doing it for money, more so just to help.
Yeah.
You know,
It
just been
means
toying
more
around with the
when you
idea.
do that. And then the interesting thing, because I've done that for a lot of riders throughout the years, just because I was always older and a lot of riders were younger, and it was so fulfilling. Like,
Yeah,
for example, the year that Kenny and I were teammates in 2020, I would be like, I almost didn't even care about my results. It sounded bad, but I would get like a 6th or a 7th one night, and if Kenny would do well, I was like stoked. So it means a lot, not only for them and the experience and life skills that you have, which you would be amazing at it because you've seen every facet of the sport, right? Like you've literally looked through the goggles that these guys are now looking through at every level, from being the very best amateur to then winning titles as a pro. But I think what's wild about it is it'll do more for you personally than it actually will for the other. As much as you'll be helping the other rider, you'll have so much joy and so much fulfillment. You don't even want to take money at that point. You'll end up getting paid for it because that's the right thing. That's the way things should be because of your time is worth some money, but you'll be great at it and you'll be so fulfilled to see somebody succeed and make the right decision in life. It's like, yeah, there's nothing like it.
I know I've talked to you about that book, JB, The Second Mountain.
Yep.
I'll give it to you a summary real briefly, but the first mountain is material success. You get to the top of that mountain, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're Tiger Woods or Michael Jordan, or it doesn't matter how good you do, you eventually realize that everything you do for yourself there is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you know nothing bigger than yourself, you're destined to be bummed out.
Yeah.
Second mountain is all about helping other people.
Yeah. Well
That's
said.
like the second mountain's a key to a fulfilling life. So that's, yeah, I'm trying to get on that level. I don't want to live like, even with the broadcasting thing, like, one of the things that attracted me about retirement is me not being at the center. I didn't like waking up every day and being like, oh, how do I feel? How do I all the time?
Yeah.
I do like helping other people. I know you're the same way.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But I need you to give me at least a decade in the booth, please.
Let's do it. Love it.
Should we get into our guest?
Well, one last thing before we get our guest on. Shout out to Kyle Webster, Australian
E9?
450 motocross champion, comes over here, and they flew over here. I believe they landed Thursday before Ironman. And remember, it's winter time in Australia right now, so he hasn't been riding in the heat. He raced Ironman, overheated a little bit, actually got inside the top 10 first moto, faded back a little bit, second moto overheated, and for those of you that out there that have traveled from Australia or been on a flight that long into the heat, straight onto the track, it had to be so difficult for him. So I don't blame him. But then this weekend comes back 8-9 on the day. Second moto was inside the top 10 and moving forward, had a crash, came from, I believe he was like 15th or 20th, came all the way back to 9th. So shout out to Kyle Webster. And one last thing, there's not a better rider out there than Kyle Webster. I don't know if you've talked to him, but he is the most genuine, nicest, cool dude. Yeah, he's awesome. You'll hang out with him when you're in Australia, but shout
Yeah,
out Kyle Webster.
I know you've won like 54 Australian Supercross championships. I was going to ask you if you raced him
Oh,
when you were
come
over
on.
there.
Did I race? I've been teammates with him for like 5 years.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
he's awesome. Yeah.
You've got this whole other life over there, dude.
I do.
There's probably this stadium
I
that
do.
we're going to. There's probably a bronze statue of Justin Brayton.
Well, that's kind of part of the reason. I mean, Tom Brady just got his statue.
Yep.
That's part of the reason we have to go over there. I want you there for the unveiling of my
Inauguration.
statue at one of the stadiums.
You going to get a key to the city?
I wish, man. I wish I had a key to the Sunshine Coast. I
For
always
real.
wanted to get sponsored by the tourism division of the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. So if there's anyone out there part of that or can get us some access for free, because it's expensive over there, Sunshine Coast is where it's at. You have to go check it out.
Maybe I'll come back with something from Australia that I can hang on this wall behind me. So these people in the comment
Nah, don't
section
do
will
that.
stop hating on my white wall.
Don't do
Everybody.
that.
I'm a minimalist. All right. And I don't like living in the past. Okay. I don't have a bunch of memorabilia all over my house. It's all in closets and attics and whatnot. So everybody get off me. Okay. Guest time.
Guest time. We've been talking about these veterans. We've been talking about Jett Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Eli Tomac. There was a couple rookie debuts this weekend, and one of them was Caden Dudney. Had a great day. Solid inside the top 10. Second moto was inside the top 5 for over half the race, and ended up 7-13 on the day for 12th, or sorry, for 11th. Caden Dudney. Let's get into it. Caden, thanks for taking the time joining us today here on the AC and JB show. We appreciate it, man. Where are you today? You in Florida?
Yeah, I'm back in Florida, Star, just sitting in the meeting room here.
Will Hahn's not close by, is he?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's like doing some off. Who knows? Who knows with that guy?
He's probably
That's right.
working. No one will. He's probably doing some pull-ups or something in the next room over.
Yeah, he's either running or on his bicycle doing pull-ups, doing some sort of physical activity. But thanks for taking the time, man. Great job this weekend. Your rookie debut, 16 years old. And I'm just going to claim it right now. I already messaged you this, but we're claiming you. You are from Iowa. I know you moved when you were young, but you're from Iowa.
I am, yeah. I moved to Texas when I was 5, I think. But
All
yeah,
right, so you're good. You're good with me claiming you. All of us Iowans are claiming you.
yeah, I'm good with that.
And so naturally, Justin Brayton was your hero growing up, obviously. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
was
he's
probably
like
too old.
right there, like Riverside, like 10 minutes from my house, dude.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I used to do a race. AC used to put on a race. Used to call the Justin Brayton Shootout, and Caden did come race it, and that's where he's from, right there in Winterset, Iowa. So
I think I remember the first time meeting you. It was like 2020. I was on a 65.
yeah,
I thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
Oh, dude, I remember
awesome.
my first time. I feel like everybody probably remembers the first time they met Justin Brayton.
Get
It's
out
like
of here.
etched into my mind forever, dude. You're just that guy. You're the Iowa guy. Caden, dude, give us a little bit of, before we get in, great, unbelievable job this weekend. I think you exceeded everyone's expectations, but just kind of give us a little bit of a rundown, because I remember interviewing you in 2024 at Loretta's. You were a Team Green kid. Now, of course, with Star Racing, Yamaha. Just to kind of explain for the people that are, kind of only follow the pros, kind of your path to get to where you are now the last couple years.
Yeah, dude, that's funny that you say the interview last year. I was like so nervous. I was like frozen, dude. It was funny, but yeah, it's definitely been a grind to get to the pro leagues. Like, yeah, I was on Cowie last year after Loretta's. Star approached me, and I've been here since October, late October.
Yep.
And yeah, just been working with Swanee, Jeannie, just getting ready. And yeah, it's taken a lot of work to get where I am today. And yeah, I just can't thank them enough. Really exciting to be like, yeah, like racing those guys. And like when I was behind Seth and Moto 2, it was like crazy. I was like seeing Hammaker. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually doing this.
That's awesome, dude.
But
That's
yeah,
cool. Yeah. And you worked with Kevin Windham a little bit, is that right?
I did. Yeah.
And
How was
walk
that?
us
Did he?
through that. I mean, K-Dub's a legend. He's one of
Yeah.
my favorite guys.
He still is one of my favorite guys. I
Yeah.
talk to him a little bit off and on. Just trying to like, sometimes I get like so caught up in like the lap times here. I'm like, I need to reset and just remember what he taught me because I really liked that. You know, like they do a lot of motos here and not much technique, but I'm trying to work with Swanee on technique more. But yeah, I'll just call that guy every now and then, just ask for some tips, send videos or whatever. But yeah, he's really amazing. I love that guy. I wish I could go back.
Was it intimidating for you to like once you got that Star deal? Of course, like Star is, you know, the most successful team the last 5-8 years or so. I mean, that's kind of been the place to be. Like, what was it like for you pulling up there? Guys like Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, Hayden Deegan. Like, did you feel a little out of place at first?
I did, yeah. I still do sometimes, to be honest. I mean, like those guys are fast. They're just grinding every day, and yeah. The first day I rolled up, I was very scared. Like, I mean, I don't talk much as it is now, but like I was frozen. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
But I loved every second of it.
it's awesome.
And what's it like now during the week? Like you don't have to tell us everything, but where's the speed at during the week when you're riding with Hayden and these guys? Obviously, Hayden's gonna potentially, most likely, gonna clinch another championship this weekend at Budds Creek. But where's the speed at during the week?
It kind of depends on the day and how I feel, you know. I mean, for me, I'm not really a guy who gives it 100% in practice every day. Like I usually tend to ride like around 80%, but yeah, around like mid pack, I'd say. Just kind
Okay.
of cruising, having fun, just trying to stay with those guys. It's definitely tough because they've been doing it for so long. It's just like I'm trying to learn from them sometimes.
Hmm.
So
Anybody out there? Anybody out there bullying you around a little bit, running to the side of you, talking some smack, or is it all fun and games?
I mean, there's definitely some talk and some smack talk every now and then, but I mean, I just let it go, you know. I mean,
Totally, totally. Dude, going into your first pro race, what was going through your head? Like, what were the expectations like? I know I've been there. We've all been there for the first time. It's a surreal feeling because you've been dreaming about the day, you know, since you first got on a motorcycle. So, what was your mindset headed into your first pro race?
I was just going there to learn and just have fun and enjoy every single bit of it because like you only get one pro debut, and I wanted to make it memorable. And like I remember last year, I was thinking about going pro this year. I was like, you know how cool that would be. I was just thinking about it so much. I was like, that would be like such an awesome dream, like just to be racing with those guys and just be up there with them. And then like to finally be there on the starting line, like looking around everybody, like I was just like, wow, this is crazy. But like I wasn't nervous, which was kind of
Really?
surprised me because I felt like I would be so nervous. Like on the plane ride there, I was nervous. I was like getting in my head about it. I was like, but once I was on the starting line, I was like, fine. I was confident. Felt like I was at home almost.
Yeah, isn't it funny how that works? And Adam, I'm sure you experienced this, but sometimes you can work yourself up so much, and then when you get the helmet on, it's like, oh, this is normal. I've done this before. It's just another gate drop. Yeah, you're racing guys you looked up to. But I want to talk about that second moto. Ran inside the top five for over half the race, and then just a small tip over. What happened there at the bottom of the hill?
Yeah, I was trying to pass sets right there. I was just a little impatient and just kind of pushed the front a little bit. And yeah, I felt like I was really bummed about that. Honestly, I didn't know I was in top five. Honestly, I was just trying to race my race and just move forward. just do me. But yeah, I went down that hill, was setting him up on the outside to get up on the inside of him on the next hill, and I was just a little impatient, kind of pushed the front, just tipped over.
I remember, Justin, I'm sure you do too. My first pro race, Budds Creek, 2013. I remember the thing that, I was pretty nervous. The thing that surprised me the most, and I already knew going into the race that it was going to be like this, but the intensity at the beginning of a 250 Pro Motocross National is unlike anything I had ever experienced before. I mean, I felt like I was in like some action movie or something. It was completely insane. Was there anything? Did the intensity in the beginning surprise you? Because it didn't look like it did. You look like you've been doing it your whole life.
No, it definitely did a little bit. Like on second moto, I was up there on the start, and then in the first corner, I let like 4 guys go around me because I almost wasn't ready for it, but I was there, so I just had to like regroup and just try to push forward and stay with those guys.
Yeah, I actually thought that, Caden, when I was watching. 'Cause obviously I'm a fan of yours. Being from Iowa, I follow the the Iowans closely. AC knows this. Big McAdoo fan
Oh yeah.
myself, and I actually seen you get shuffled back right away a little bit, and I'm like, oh no, that because things can start to happen quick, and you get shuffled back a couple times. It's like, oh no, and then another guy gets you, but you regrouped amazing. And first moto, you end up seventh. I mean, walk us through just between the motos, and did that first moto give you confidence when you're having a drink and getting ready for second moto? Did it give you more confidence? Like, hey, these guys are just normal human beings. I can run with them. And that's what gave you the confidence to do what you did that second moto?
Yeah, no, after first moto, I was like in the ice bath. I was sitting there just like thinking about the race. I was like, wow, that was crazy. Like to be up there with those guys running with them, just thinking about everything like I've done to work up to that point, like all the sacrifice and everything. It was just like all hitting me in that moment, and I was just like so crazy. I was like just so thankful for everything.
Well, dude, I will say this. I will say that type of mindset that you have right now, take a look around, take a big deep breath and enjoy that, because you're going to be one of these guys very soon. And then the kids coming up are going to be reading your jersey, thinking about the same exact thing. It's amazing like how fast that will happen. My question for you, how I feel like a lot of times we get amateurs coming into the pros and they have speed, but they don't quite have the fitness. You look pretty strong all the way through the motos. How do you feel? How confident are you in your fitness and your ability to go 2 motos, 30+2 in the heat?
Honestly, I didn't think I'd like make it that far in the second moto. I knew I was good for first moto, but second moto is a whole different story. You know, it's late, it's hot, the sun's just on your back on the starting line. You're sitting there thinking about it. But I surprised myself with that, honestly. I was just like kept going and I didn't feel tired. But I think that's also because like you're in the moment, like battling those guys, and you're not thinking about how tired you are.
Yeah, totally. Makes
Yeah, it's
sense.
amazing what adrenaline can do in that moment, huh? So what's the plan moving forward? Obviously, Unadilla went well. We've got Budds Creek this weekend. We're in this weekend too?
Yeah, we're at Buds.
You are. Nice. And then what's the plan moving forward from there? Do you know yet?
I think the plan is SMX like as an amateur, and then futures, and then pro for next year
So
on
pro
outdoors.
Alla next year.
Yeah, for outdoors.
How's the Supercross skills?
I've only had like 3 months on SX, like legit SX. I mean, I've played around on it before, like earlier in the year and stuff, but nothing like compared to here. Like this place is gnarly. Like the tracks are so peaky. Like when they're first built, I mean, they like kind of get like tamed down a little bit
Yeah.
as the season goes on, but like at first they were gnarly. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident. Like before I got hurt at Daytona, I was like finally like connecting all the dots, and I felt like I was riding like myself and like good. I was very confident in my riding and the whoops. The whoops are my favorite part.
There you go.
Oh, that's a real good sign right there, because I can tell you, Caden, like probably my first 2 years in Supercross, Man, I remember driving to the test track, and that all I was thinking about was those 12 loops in the middle of the track. And I'm like, dude, am I going to be able to get through these things all day? Like,
Yeah, they're big and it's scary. I mean, I've had some pretty close calls, but like they're still my favorite part.
so you feel like you don't necessarily like you don't feel like you're specifically an outdoor guy or specifically a supercross guy. Like you believe in yourself. You believe that you can be elite in both disciplines.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty well rounded in both.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't really rode much SX my like whole career. I mean, off and on a little bit, just playing around on it, like little doubles here and there. But until I got here, I wasn't like really working on SX. I was just full outdoors. But I feel pretty confident in my SX skills so far.
Love
Love it.
that. Love it.
Little Iowa in him, AC. Got some whoop
Got
skills.
the JB whoops, dude.
Love it. Love it. Caden,
Yeah, go ahead, JB.
go ahead, AC. You're good.
No, you dude. You go. You go.
Well, I was just gonna mainly obviously say good luck this weekend at Buzz. But what's the goal this weekend? I mean, we had kind of a 7-4-ish day going, or 7-5 day. You obviously went back to 13th with that fall and ended up 11th overall. But did we up the bar a little bit this weekend? What's the goals?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely like once I got a taste of it, I'm definitely hungry for more, but I gotta stay humble. So I'm like my goals are just to like get a start, good qualifying, and just be patient. Because you have plenty of time in those 30-minute motos. So you just have to be patient, let it like all work out, just let it come to you.
Caden, how old are you? Are you 17?
16. I just turned 16.
Oh, no way. So you're young, dude. Okay. Okay. That's like even more impressive because I thought you were 17. And when
Yeah,
you're
on my
that,
birthday, I was like already getting like the pro card ready and all that stuff, like
oh,
on my birthday.
dude, I love that. So
Wow.
my question for you is you haven't, have you lived on your own yet? Or were you living with your parents in
I'm still living
Texas?
with my parents.
Okay. So did the whole family move to Tallahassee with you?
Yeah, we're working on a house right now. We're all in the
Okay.
camper. It's pretty tight
Oh,
and hectic, but we're making it work. I mean, anything to get like to make my dreams happen, to be honest. Like we're all in it. We're all in it as a family and like just we're all there for each other and just trying to make the best of it.
dude, that's awesome. Well, like I said before, dude, enjoy this part of your career because it's a really fun time, and before you know it, you'll be 5 years down the line, and you'll forget all this new kind of excitement, everything you have. It'll become normal so quick. And so I think I speak for JB, everybody here at our show, dude. We're rooting for you. Great job this weekend. Good luck this weekend, and dude, just
Thank you.
go out there and have fun, dude.
Yeah, I mean that's all you can do at this point. Just go out there and have fun and try to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend, and the future is bright, man. Enjoy
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Caden Dudney for coming on the show. AC, cool kid, bright future, huh?
Bright future. Bright future. I miss the days where now it's a little bit, with SMX Next and everything, you get to see so much of these young kids before they actually turn pro. I kind of like the traditional route of, racing Loretta's and then going pro, racing the last couple outdoors. It's nostalgic for me. But for him to come in, I think for him to come in and do that, dude, I think that's got to give you a lot of confidence. I'm not sure if he's better at outdoors than Supercross or what, but great way to start it off. And I think as a rookie, it's all about like just showing promise, showing speed, like having a good lap in qualifying, having a good first 5 laps. Like you don't have to be all buttoned up and perfect, especially these days. But got it started off on the right foot, and just getting in the rest of 250s. We touched on it a little bit at the start of the show, Justin, but Joe Shimoda, dude, why is he so good at the end of seasons? Like if this guy, like if this Joe showed up to round 1, I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda, he's not, Deegan's going to win this championship, but you would imagine it would be a bit of a closer fight. Like, do you think it's the fact that the pressure's off, the championship's gone? Or is it like a contract thing? Like he's backs against the wall and that's where he performs the best? I don't know. What do you think? Because
Yeah,
this is
it's
unbelievable.
interesting. I'm not sure because if you look back the start of the year, Deegan dominated and Shimoda was second the first 4 motos.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really that close. Like
Mm-mm.
Haiden was clearly the best guy.
Like 10 seconds every
So
time.
yeah, is Haiden 10%, taking 10% off right now just to
True,
get this thing
true.
home, get this over the finish line and win this championship? Or has Joe, because Joe will say he rides the same all the time. Remember
Yeah.
in Supercross, there's like this thing, hey, you won Anaheim. Obviously, he got injured, but even in years past, he's like, I ride the same all the time. It's just some days I win and some days I don't. Well, this level right now is scary for the competition for next year. And if he rides like this, it's not even going to be close.
But we've said that before.
I know we have.
We've said that
We have.
before. In 2023, he lured us in, dude. We thought
Yeah.
he was going to take over the world in 2024. So
You're right.
dude,
You're right.
Joe, he is so many like little nuances to Joe that I find so interesting, man. Like I had a chance to train with him for a couple years. One, like the most unintentionally funny dude you'll ever meet in your life, man. Like he's so funny that there's times where like memories I think back and I think back the memories of him saying something to me, or he'll text me something crazy. Like he just talks crazy sometimes. And like I'll think of this memory and I'll like belly laugh out loud, 2 years later. He's that guy. But sometimes he goes out on the track and he's a stone cold killer. I think in years past and being around him, I think there were times where I thought maybe he was too timid, that he kind of lacked that conviction that I was talking about with someone like a Jett or a Haiden. But whatever he's doing now, that first moto, again, that was just full. He was blacked out, couldn't put a wheel wrong. 40 seconds. Like you looked at the time, most of the time you see the running order and you're looking at the gaps between guys. And for the large part, they stay pretty close to the same, or they move slightly up or slightly down. I was watching it. It looked like a countdown clock. It looked like it looked like the timer or something. Cause it was like 22, 23, and then 40 seconds later, 25. Like it just kept going and going and going. And so that's why I said he was blacked out, because there was at no point where he stopped and was like, oh, I'm going to maintain this gap. It was just straight beatdown mode. But I think the thing about Joe is like, he's going to catch some heat again for being so good at the end and not as good in the beginning. But anybody that can do this, like anybody that can go out there and win a race by 40 seconds, is going to have a lot of value for a long time, because every team is thinking the same thing. It's like, that's in there. How do we get that out of them every time? And so I think he's going to have a lot of value, of course, going into next year, but a lot of value, in getting to the premier class as well. And for Joe, what Joe's got going for him too, Hayden's gone next year. And say Joe goes 450s in 2027, maybe Tomac's not there. Maybe Barsh is not there. Maybe Anderson's not there. Maybe Cooper's not. Like there's this whole new wave, this generation that's going to retire. And then Joe's going to come in and he's going to have a chance to be really, really good in the premier class. But yeah, I guess if I'm Haiden, I'm pretty motivated right now. Of course, you got to get the championship. He's got to get 15th in a moto next weekend. He's got to get that done. But I think what Joe's doing right now is really motivating Haiden to bring it to SMX, because Haiden doesn't want to go out. He doesn't want to go out getting beat by Joe. He wants to put Hayden's been so good that I'm sure he thinks about legacy and records and all that stuff. So I think this is shaping up to be a good little playoff run here.
We're gonna be diving deep on Race Day Live to start that show in Charlotte, and especially that first qualifying session to see if Joe can bring it. And you just think about a couple years ago, he brought it in SMX. Then you still have to think about guys like Julian Beaumer, who had a better day, 6'4". That was a much better day. I was just reviewing some SMX stuff the other day, and Charlotte, he was incredible last year. I mean, that was like his coming out party. So SMX is not going to be a walk in the park for Haiden this year. I think Joe believes more than ever. Yeah, just a solid day. I've never seen him dominate like that. I haven't. Even in the pro circuit days when we were like, oh, he's the favorite now, and he won Ironman that year, kind of going away, and I don't know. I didn't see that conviction that he had in Unadilla. That just I'm going to dominate and he does it easy. That's what happens when you've won these races before. When you can just keep getting a bigger lead and it's easy and you rack it up to 40 seconds, that tells me it's literally just coming easy. And why would you back it down? Because it's kind of easy at this pace right now. So I'll just keep going.
I'm not sure if I've ever won a pro race by 40 seconds. But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting too, because like Deegan is the best guy. We can't say Joe's the best guy just based off body of work. Deegan's been the best guy. He's got a
100%,
massive point lead. He's been dominant, makes it happen. He's there week in, week out, where, sometimes Joe will go out there and get a fifth, or Deegan's not doing that. But I don't remember races this year where Hayden's always a guy where he gets a 10-second lead and, manages the lead for the most part. And I can't remember. Now, maybe somebody in the comments will, or maybe you will, Justin. I can't remember a race this year where Deegan's won by like over 30 seconds like that. And Joe has one of the motos at Washougal, I think it was second moto, first moto, I don't know. One of those motos he won by like 25 seconds. And now he's got this race where he won by 40. So it's just interesting that Haiden has been clearly the best guy, but just one moto performance-wise, Joe has been able to amass these crazy, dominant, massive leads, which would suggest that when Joe's feeling it, he can do what Haiden can do. So yeah, it's the end of the season, too little too late for the championship, but a lot of momentum for the playoffs, JB. I'm excited about the playoffs this year, and I think the riders are too.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun.
And even watching the guys' body language on the track, like the last couple weekends, I'm gonna break it to you fans. Pretty much every rider on the track right now is over it. They're done They're done riding motocross, and it's so funny. I heard somebody in the press conference say that I think it was Haiden, that he's riding SMX this week, he's over riding outdoors. And what's funny is we really don't ride pro motocross, or we don't ride outdoors much.
Don't know.
Like a couple test days during Supercross, then we get a weekend off, and guys are riding 2 days a week, 3 days max during the week. And you could we probably ride outdoors like 40 times, 50 times. That's not that much.
No,
and guys are, what's that?
Not compared to Supercross. Yeah, we ride Supercross so much.
Way more. And I feel like for the most part, guys get over riding outdoors quicker than they get over riding Supercross. Would you say that's correct? Yeah. I mean, it's just a longer day, dude. You get dirtier. It's just like the training days are really drawn. They're longer. It's messier. I found that interesting over the years that guys seem to gravitate towards wanting to ride Supercross more than outdoors.
Yeah. The heat, right? The heat just wears you down. And then the travel in Supercross is a lot easier than most motocross races. Like, because typically in Supercross, you're flying into a city. A lot of times you stay at the hotel right next to the airport or right next to the stadium. Then the stadium's not far away. So the travel logistically is much easier. And then I think a lot of it too is just, for me anyways, you could just put together, and I see guys that obviously like a Jett or Hunter that can kind of play with a motocross track and jump around and do this and that. But on a Supercross track, like, you can do so many different things. You can piece together different rhythm lanes every day. The track's a little bit different. It is in motocross as well, but I don't know. Just
not really.
Supercross. Yeah, not really, right?
When you're 8 weeks into the outdoor season, dude, and you're at the practice track, all you're trying to do is miss the bumps.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get to the smoothest line possible.
Yeah.
I do want to say, okay, so Haiden Dean got second. Fine day. I do like the fact that, one, I loved it. I love his attitude off the bike this summer. I think he's been super respectful to the guys.
Yeah, he has been.
I thought in the press conference, even on the podium, like how he was like, Joe was on another level. It didn't matter about what was going on with my bike or this or that. Dude, I think that's awesome. I think we got to give him a little round of applause for for that too, because we talk about how brash he is and how sometimes he can be cocky, but he also knows when to give the other guys props, and I think that's worthy of some recognition. So good job, Haiden. And one of the things I wanted to get into real quick, JB, shout out to Grok, my little AI platform here I have on my phone. I was interested, as Deegan is coming to the end of his 250 career, I was interested to see kind of the comparison between Jett and Haiden in the 250 class. And dude, it's pretty close across the board. Pro Motocross 250 combined stats. Jett has 33 starts, Haiden 30. Jett Lawrence has averaged 39.36 points per start. Haiden Deegan 40.6. Overall results, average finish, Jett Lawrence 3.91. Haiden Deegan 3.27. Jett Lawrence slightly higher win rate, 42%. Jett's won 14 times to Deegan's 12. Podiums are close. Motor results, average moto finish 4.3 for Jett, 3.9 for Haiden. Moto wins, very close. Dude, across the board, dude, it's pretty neck and neck. It's pretty close.
Wow. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. I mean, they're almost in a dead tie for 250 careers.
And Jett does have, and you'll have to excuse me, guys, my listeners, if Grok, maybe he's a little lagging behind, or maybe the stat is a little bit off. But I think for the most part, this about makes sense. I think Jett has been a little bit better. That was only Pro Motocross. I think Jett won 2 titles so far, and Haiden will probably race 250s and have a chance to win another title and pull pretty close. But I think Jett's been slightly better in Supercross. But just this, everything we've been talking about all summer long, going into 2026, JB, it's like as good as Jett is really, to me, like he really has got, he was great on a 250, but he definitely got to a new level on a 450. Yeah. Like he jumped in right away, perfect season. So who's to say? I don't know. Looking at the stats, it's almost like I watch Haiden and I watch Jett, and I almost would give the nod to Jett just because he's Jett and he's done what he's done. But then you look at the stats and it's like, dude, Deegs right there.
Yeah.
In 2026, we're going to find out.
We are going to find out. I can't wait for that. The one thing I will say is I always felt like, and a lot of people said this, so it wasn't just me, the 250 was almost holding Jett back. And I don't know if you agree, but I feel like the 250 is holding him back for this reason is on a 250, you have to ride it similar to the way Hayden's riding it right now. Is you got to rev it, you got to bounce off any line you can, and just be super aggressive and make things happen. And Jett never really rode like that. Like he rode the bike pretty methodical and kept it in the right RPM, and which the 450 loves. And that has really transitioned very, very well. It's also why I was going to mention when you were talking about Shimoda, I like him on a 450 AC. I do. I think in a couple of years' time, we're going to be talking about Joe Shimoda on a 450 and doing very, very well. But I think Haiden will transition just fine. Look, people talked about it in RC days. Oh, is he going to fit a 250 well? Of course he did. Then he moved to 450 and was incredible. So I think Hayden's going to be just fine. But it is interesting to see how great Jett is right now and to see if Haiden can get to that level or not. I mean, so far, pretty tit for tat in 250 class.
And I just think too, with with Jett being kind of starting to take on more of that kind of superstar type of role, does the stuff like the Met Gala and things like that. And we know Hayden's really good at media, social media, the whole deal. Like he just knows how to get people going. He posts some crazy TikToks. I've been on TikTok lately just to check out what he's saying, dude. I respect the fact that he will just say anything. Like bro will just say anything. Yeah, respect. But I really think too, having Jett and Haiden in the same class, and if it does end up being pretty close, it could do a lot. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but it could do a lot to the sport in general. Like it could, I think it could really go to the next level. So this has been a great era. Like this last 5 years has been a great era, but this next one to me is going to be all time. Like, and I'm very excited to not be racing and to be watching it from the booth.
Well, I couldn't help but think in that press conference that you talked about earlier about how Eli and Hunter and Jett were getting along, and I couldn't help but think that when Jett was saying what he was saying, and Cole, maybe you could put up the clip, but he was just explaining
creating enemies in the wrong way is just not called for, you know. We all racing at the same time, and I know personally I try to show the respect to Eli on the track and race clean, because I get more excitement of, okay, getting close, but still knowing it's safe, that I'm not going to go clean his front wheel out, do something stupid, you know, because that's, in my mind, that's just lazy way of riding. When you go take someone out, you hit them, they're down, you don't deal with them after because they already crashed. So it's like, I find racing's more fun for me when you pass them clean, you're going back and forth, you're using racecraft and getting crafty with things and stuff like that. And I think us showing the respect to Eli and other riders, that this kind of creates better racing, I feel like, because otherwise if you create enemies, it's just like not as fun. You don't like talking to that person, it's awkward. I mean, I feel like our family's a very fun, happy family.
how the respect for his competitors and why he wouldn't just go in there and try to hit somebody out of the way. Like, he wants to race them head to head.
I love that.
I couldn't help but think, is that like, hey, like speaking to Haiden a little bit, like, hey, this is how we race here. This is how we do things. It's not going to be that way. There will not be press conferences like there was this past weekend in Unadilla in 2026. And I'm here for it, but like you said, they just do it two different ways. Now, if it gets disrespectful, like, they're going to have to rein it in, and I don't like to see that. But I think we're going to see more of the James and Chad era of just not really liking each other, and that's if Haiden can get up there and battle Jett each and every weekend.
And you know what I'm excited to see? Jett's so good at like remaining composed.
Mm-hmm.
He's even on the track. I mean, there's not that many times where somebody's going fast enough to like ruffle his feathers a little bit, but I'm interested to see like if Haiden can actually get under his skin.
Yeah.
Because everything I've seen so far with Jett, Hunter, all of them, like, those guys are tough to shake. Even Tomac, Anderson, Kinney, Coop, all those. I mean, you're not shaking Coop, that's for dang sure. But all those guys, it's like they've been there and done that. They've probably been that guy, like been the guy that's antagonizing other people at some point in their career. It's hard. It's hard to make that a part of your strategy to win in the 450 class. Like, you really gotta be that guy.
Yeah.
And you can't go out and, you know, if you're Haiden, you can't go out and make a bunch of enemies, dude, because you're going to get a 10th place start. And, you know, if you run into the side of Justin Barsha in practice, like, the dude's going to kill you before you get to the front. So you got to be strategic. I think part of that, I almost think that the part of the way, I think being respectful, I think being a certain type of, Jett strikes me as a guy that is like, moral, that he really wants, for no other reason than that's just the way that he was taught. That's just what he believes. Like, he wants to act a certain way, be a certain way. I kind of see his awareness a little bit. Press conference this weekend, like, little things. Like, I love when Eli was answering a question and Jett just shows the respect of, you know, turning to him and looking at him in the eye when he's speaking. Like, things like that to me are like, okay, this kid's aware. He wants to come across a certain way. He wants to set this standard. So, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that, JB? Tell me.
Just how they do it different in the 450 class, and they've been there.
I don't know, man. I got so off in the weeds. I do this sometimes. You can leave this in here, Cole. You don't take this out. It's fine. I want people to see. I want people to see that. Even I'm just glad we're not on live TV, because that always sucks when you're live and you just got to just talk and hopefully end up making some type of sense. But in general, I wonder if Jett is going to maintain that. Like if he's not going to join, no matter what Haiden does, he's not going to join in on that. And I think that's going to be the strategy. I think it's just
Yeah.
completely ignore anything that is, and just hone in on yourself and be that. And I think that is the best strategy for someone like Haiden.
100%.
Right. Like you just act above it, be the bigger guy. I mean, I think that's the only way that you can really attack it, JB. But
yeah,
we're going to find out here soon. I'm excited about it.
And the only way it works, if you're Haiden, is if you're winning.
Yep.
It's going to be hard. That's going to be the hardest thing to do is can you beat Jett? Like, can you truly beat him moto after moto or weekend after weekend, or even just a few times during the summer? Can you do that? And if you can, then I think you can talk and do his thing. But I think that's going to be the hardest thing to do, is just to beat him. And Haiden eventually may get there, but man, it'll be Jett's third year in the class. They've got the bike working very, very well. Hayden's going to have to learn a new motorcycle, learn how it works on these certain tracks, and really put a lot of trust in his team and teammates to make the right decisions on what to change in between motos or going into a different style of track. So there's a lot to learn. And maybe he does. Maybe he takes 2026. It's just kind of like he did his rookie 250 year, where we're just here to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he does that. That's probably the right strategy.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, we're just here to learn, and we're battling up front, but we're just here to learn from these guys. And if he does that, I think I think it'll be good.
My last thing in the 250 class is Tom Vial. He's going to Europe, dude. He's gone. We talked about this weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure we both said get to Sky Miles, like go back. I think it's a smart move, but I don't know. I like Tom racing over here, dude. I'm gonna miss seeing him out there. And I think it's a bit interesting. Like, when's the last time we've seen a guy come over here, race, do well, and then leave? Like, kind of still young in his career. It's been a while.
It's been a long. I don't know if it's ever happened, but it's a little bit sad, because he came over here, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and then some. I mean, no one thought he was going to be a 250 Supercross champ. I think if you had told me 3 years ago Tom Vial was coming over here and he was going to win a championship, I'd say, yeah, cool, he won a motocross championship.
Definitely.
But to come over here and win 2 Supercross championships in 3 years and then not really have a ride. I mean, he sort of had a ride, but not really. That's like
kind of weird.
Dude, I don't know. It's a bummer for the fans here. It's a bummer for the series to lose a guy like that. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a change in the rule. I don't know, man. I hadn't thought about that too much, but it's a bummer we're losing him, but he'll be successful wherever he goes next year.
He will be. And the one thing about Tom that I was kind of critical during Supercross a little bit. I just think that there's times where he lacks some aggression.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times where you watch him ride and he's aggressive and you're like, dude, that's it. Like, that's elite right there. And there was, he's got 2 Supercross championships and 2 Supercross wins, right?
I think he's got 3 Supercross wins.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong. Yeah. Don't have it in front of me, but
it's not a lot. I get it. I get it in a way that he doesn't have a bunch of teams knocking on his door, because kind of the way that he won the titles, you got to have a lot of speed. He's got 3 Supercross wins. Thanks, Cole. You got to have the speed. You got to show that intensity to go to the next level. Being a champion is great. Doesn't necessarily prove everything you need to prove to be valuable at the next level in a way, just the way that he won the titles. But I will say that, Tom kind of always figures it out, it seems like, And so in my head, even though I haven't seen the speed that I would like to see out of Tom, I would still bet money that he would figure out how to be successful at the next level. I don't know exactly what success looks like. Maybe that's a Jay Coop type. Maybe that's his ceiling, or yeah, I don't know exactly but I'm pretty confident that if he stayed here and got to a 450, like he wouldn't be a wash. Like
No.
he's a smart dude. He gets good starts. He would
Yeah.
figure it out. He would figure it out. And so I almost wonder if he's just kind of over America. Like he just wants to go
I don't
back
think
home,
so.
you know? Like maybe he just misses
Yeah.
the boys.
I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I don't know Tom that well at all, but I just feel like the offer is probably 2 or 3 times what he got offered here, and he got offered a 1-year
Simple as that.
deal here, and it's like, yeah, it's almost like, yeah, it's just a bummer because he's durable, he's a great starter. He has, I mean, can you think
Good
of him
attitude.
being injured? He's got a great attitude. The one thing, like you said, he's lacking maybe that raw speed. But he's still, dude, he figures it out how to get it done.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time Supercross champion, and he
Fact.
got offered a 1-year 450 deal for not much money. That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's absolutely brutal. Maybe he'll come back when this whole generation retires. Maybe.
I think that's the best.
Because
Yep.
how cool would that be if he
Mhm.
went to Europe, won an MXGP title, and then came back?
Comes back.
And he's like,
That
I'm
would be
finishing.
awesome.
I'm finishing in America. Let's just
Yeah.
hope. Let's hope for that. I think it's less sad that if we look at it that way, like
Yeah.
it's not goodbye, it's see you later. I think that's the term.
That's right.
Yeah. What
Yep.
else? Is that
Last
it?
thing for me, Julian Beaumer. He's back. 6'4", solid day, ran up front all day long. And I'm excited for the SMX playoffs for Julian.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, it was his coming out party in Charlotte last year. He was super fast. And, yeah, we've seen in Supercross this year, he made a leap up, but motocross, not so much. He got some contact lenses they were talking about. Maybe he just
really?
couldn't see the bumps. Couldn't see the bumps in motocross. He got some contacts put in, and he's dialed now. So we'll really be able to see the podium nice and clear in Charlotte in a few
I like
weeks.
that. And I think for guys that haven't had great outdoor seasons in general, guys like Hammaker, he's P4 this weekend, solid.
Mhm.
But I think he probably would have liked to, of course, win that Supercross title and do a little better outdoors. I think for someone like Hammaker, Juju, I see Ryder D in here had a pretty good weekend. P8, Nate Thrasher, top 10 and 9th, Levi Kitchen 10th. Like these guys, you can, I think SMX is at the importance level now where if you go there and you perform, you can kind of save your year in a way.
Yeah.
Like the way that people view your entire year, the way that people view your value from a team perspective, from a contract perspective. And so I think these guys that necessarily haven't been towards the top and outdoors consistently, I think there's going to be a bit of like renewed motivation to go out there. I think there's going to be a lot of intensity. I think it's going to pop off at Charlotte.
I agree.
JB, and I'm flying in early. I'm staying with you. I'm
do it.
staying with you on your couch, hopefully. I don't want to pay for a hotel an extra night, and we're going to golf. It's going to be great.
Can't wait. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. So
on to Ironman. Last pro motocross of the year.
No, not Ironman, JB. Come on,
Oh,
man.
sorry.
It's Bud's Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Bud's Creek.
It's 2025.
It's 2025, and we're going to
We
Bud's
got
Creek.
Motocross
baby.
of Nations at Ironman.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, you were close. It's fine.
Cole,
It's
we
totally
can leave
fine.
that in too. We all make mistakes.
We do.
It's been
We do.
Ironman every other year. We're going to Bud's Creek. That
We're
sounds
going to
weird,
Bud's
doesn't
Creek.
it? Bud's Creek for the last round? Sounds weird.
Yeah, and man, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot there. It's always down in that
Always
pit.
hot.
Anyway, you guys have a great week. Enjoy the last round of Pro Motocross, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See ya.